We'll proceed with the next interpolator. May I recognize Representative Jude Acidre? You have the floor.
Mr. Chair, before I proceed to my interpellation, may I be allowed to make a brief manifestation? Good morning, dear colleagues, Mr. Chair. Today we gather to confront the troubling and complex reality of our times, the spread of fake news on social media, and the powerful role that repetition plays in shaping what people believe. It has been said that repeat a lie often enough and it becomes the truth, a phrase widely attributed to Joseph Goebbels, the propaganda minister of Nazi Germany. While those words come from a dark chapter in history, they reveal something deeply psychological and disturbingly relevant today. Modern psychologists would call it the illusion of truth effect. When people hear something over and over again, whether it's true or not, they begin to believe it. Repetition creates familiarity, and familiarity often masquerades as truth. In today's digital world, this effect is supercharged. Social media platforms, algorithms, and virality amplify repetition at unprecedented speeds. And at the heart of this ecosystem are individuals, influencers, who shape the opinion, values, and even the beliefs of millions. That influence carries weight, and with that weight comes responsibility. I believe, Mr. Chair, this hearing is not about silencing voices. It is about understanding how truth and lies compete in our public discourse and what role social media influencers play in tipping the balance. If truth is repeated more often than lies, even by a margin, say 51 to 49%, then truth can prevail. But if lies dominate the feed, even well-intentioned citizens may find themselves misled, manipulated, and misinformed. So today, we have the opportunity to ask tough questions. We seek accountability, and more than that, we call for a shared commitment to making truth more visible, more frequent, and more powerful than the lie. Mr. Chair, let me begin.
I have a new Facebook account because on Feb 7, my Facebook was deactivated, so I created a new Facebook account just probably a week ago or less than a week ago.
Maliban sa Facebook, ano pong mga social media platforms pang yung ginagamit?
I use TikTok but sparingly, that's it.
Tinuturing nyo ba na trabaho in addition to your professional affiliations itong pag-post nyo o paggamit nyo ng social media? Personally,
no, because I don't earn. My accounts are not monetized. But because I'm the social media head of Manila Bulletin, I have to be on top of what's happening on social media.
So you consider, again for the record, na your social media activities in a way complement your professional affiliation with Manila Bulletin?
I would say so, because if you're a journalist, if you're a writer, if you're an editor, you listen to what people are saying on social media because that's how you get the pulse of the people.
Okay, thank you. Kailan ka nagsimula sa social media, if you still remember?
I'm sorry, I don't remember. Probably as soon as Facebook was created, I think maybe a year or two after I had an account. I don't remember exactly when.
So how do you decide on choosing your topics for your content?
My personal content?
Yes, for your personal account.
I don't decide. Facebook has a what's on your mind field, and what's on my mind in that moment is what I write about.
So you would say that all this are simply random, spontaneous thoughts that you have over?
Yes.
So, do you consider yourself, tinuturing mo ba sarili mo na influencer in addition to your professional role as a journalist?
I do not know. I'm not a self-identified influencer. I cannot say that I am an influencer, even if I do have a modest following that's below 500,000 because I don't do lives, I don't do YouTube, I have never gone. I only write on Facebook, that's it. I only write on Facebook. I don't do YouTube, I don't do lives, I don't do podcasts, so.
But you are aware that with your significant, your modest following on Facebook, as you refer to it, gives you a considerable audience to your postings. Are you aware of that?
Not more than the others. Yes, I do have a modest following, but not more than the others.
But are
I'm
you-
not in the level of Thinking Pinoy, Sasrogando Saso, at Maharlika. I could still go around. I could still go around not recognized by people. So no, I'm not an influencer because people don't know me, but I have a voice. Let's put it at that. I have a voice.
But then again, I'll bring back the question. Are you aware of the volume, the size of the audience that are listening, are reading your posts?
Yes, because the measure is the likes, the number of likes. So sometimes, I believe, syempre, I don't have proof of that, but in my previous Facebook, I believe that I was shadow banned. So my likes in my 480,000 Facebook was around 5,000, maximum 10,000. Now, this is a new account, and I don't think I've been shadow banned yet. I can reach as many as 50,000, even 100,000. So this is the new account.
50,000 for a single post.
Yes, for this new account.
Okay. Mr. Chair, just want to put on the record that to put everything in context, no, that the resource person on many occasions, several instances in her previous account, and I'm not so sure because I haven't seen the current accounts, have actually written about this representation, has made post against this representation, but I will take the heed, the advice of the good Congressman Marcoleta that we politicians, public servants should not be onion skin, and I will make sure that I'll be as objective as possible with my questions.
Can I reply to that, Mr. Chair?
No, I will continue with my questions, Mr. Chair. Mrs. Klc'S, ano po ang klase ng content ng inyong pinopost?
Political, personal, lifestyle.
And many of these
basically what my life is in the public. Anything, food, films. Political is a big part because I am politically inclined. I like talking about politics, but it's not the end-all and be-all of my account.
How many percent would you consider those would carry political? How many percent of your posts would you consider would carry political themes?
In my old account, probably 70, 80%. I'm not sure. I don't measure it's spontaneous. I don't set out to I don't have a quota.
And you attribute this simply because you are
Because I'm very
politically
politically
inclined.
aware and I'm very politically passionate, sir.
Sa mga content mo, may naalala ka bang pinakamaraming engagements, views, likes, or whatever impressions? Yung pinaka nag-trending na post mo? Top of mind.
Sa old account, ang pinaka nag-trending na post was the death of Stan Lee. It's not a political post, the death of Stan Lee, the creator of Marvel. Sa new account, my sadness over PRRD spending his birthday alone in his cell in The Hague.
Yung sa mga political post mo in the previous account, ano po yung pinaka nag-trending?
I don't remember exactly, but it's always about the former president.
So sa tingin mo, bakit nag-trending isang post ni Klc'S?
I don't know. Maybe because it resonates with people. Because I have never boosted a post. I'd have never bought likes, or I have never paid to get liked or followed. So I cannot speak for my audience or readers, but it's probably common sense that they it resonates with them that there are a lot of people who love President Duterte.
May mga contents na sinasabi na non-political o may mga post ka naman na masasabi mong hindi nag-viral, ano?
Actually, I don't know what the parameters are for what is considered viral. I don't know.
Or let's say, anong klase ng content naman in your experience ang hindi nagkaroon ng maraming engagement? May naalala ka ba na...
It does not, I do not look at how many likes I get. And whether or not they go viral is not very important to me. I write what I write, whether I have 1 reader or 1,000 readers.
But when you post something, do you also engage with your those who make comments? Do
When I
you
have
reply?
time, when I have time.
And when you do that, have you considered ano yung mga dominant demographic ng yung audience na usually mo na napapansin? Are these like-minded people? Are these... Mr. Chair.
Comsec.
Hello? Okay.
Okay na?
Okay. So, I assume that as with any page, you attract like-minded people. So the reason they're on my page is that they read me because they think I think like them. So even with, and it's not just political, even if you have pages for hobbies or entertainment, the people who go to your page are the people who like reading that sort of thing.
And you think this is the reason also why people follow, they like, they comment your posts because they agree with your posts?
Probably, yes, I think so.
And you think...
But just to clarify, I also have people who go to my posts just to oppose what I say. So it's not as if it's an echo chamber. It's not. Because there are people who go to my page and there are people who are trolls. And when you look at their accounts, those are new accounts, locked profiles, and they say the same thing. So it's not there's no echo chamber in today's social media because there are trolls on pages and there are people who oppose what you say.
It's good that you pointed that out, but let me ask, do you think in your engagement with those who are posting, with your post, you think that the content of your post actually influence the minds of other social media users? Have you ever found yourself quoted, reposted, shared in other social media accounts?
Yes, they are. But I always maintain that they would not be reading my page if they were not already feeling or thinking what I'm feeling. And a lot of the feedback that I get is that people saying, you articulate what I am feeling, except that I do not have the words or the talent to say that. So I think majority of my readers are those people who want to express their frustrations or express their hopes and are not just, I do not have my writing skills.
It's good that you mentioned about feedback. So, have you ever received feedback that people are actually saying, it's good that you exposed this, that you wrote about this because I'm learning, I get to know what's happening, I get to understand the issue more?
Yes, but that's not specific to social media. I am an editor, and if I write articles for the newspaper, it's always all the articles that you write, whether they're for social media or for traditional media, you're writing it to expose, inform, entertain, empower.
But let me go back to the social media. Let me limit to the social media posts. Have you ever received feedback saying that they have learned, they're thankful that you have exposed, they have learned something, they've been influenced by the information that you posted in your social media account?
Sir, I do not think that I am at the level of investigative journalist who have exposed something. I just say what unfortunately, I'm not the kind of journalist who can do exposés. So unless it's something of my personal knowledge, I don't think that somebody has thanked me for exposing something.
So are you sure that in your social media posts, whether in your previous posts or not, you have not exposed any public official or agency of the government whatsoever? Remember, you're under oath.
Not that I remember, and I know that I'm under oath. I don't remember anything exposing a public. And if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it in my job for Manila Bulletin, not on my page. So I am more protected by my office.
I will go back to the question. Ibig sabihin ba sa social media posts mo, wala kang sinabi na nag-e-expose ka sa sino mang opisyal o ehensya ng gobyerno tungkol sa in the conduct of their official duties?
I don't remember any exposés I have done.
Mr. Chair, is it possible that the committee subpoena Meta for a copy? I understand that Meta keeps a digital copy of all the postings over a considerable time. I move that we subpoena the social media posts of Mrs. Klc'S Chu.
There's a motion. Any second?
Second.
Any objection? There being none, motion is approved.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I know you're a professional journalist, Klc'S, and I know you're well trained and you studied abroad, and you have a good appreciation of what it takes to be a journalist. By referencing from that, would you describe the extent of your influence? How would you describe the extent of your influence online, and what responsibility do you think comes with that influence?
I am I'm not comfy with the idea that I am responsible for something because I just write. As I said, I'm very careful before all these things. Before, sir, Mr. Chair, before I was included in the top 40 vloggers, fake news, Pogo funded, I have never spoken my politics. Not on YouTube, not on Facebook. I just write. So I don't feel like I am an important political commentator. I write what I feel. But I'm not one of those people na people will think about because I have discussed it. I have engaged with other people. I write what I say. I write what I think, and that's it. Sometimes I answer the comments on my page, but that's the limit of my political conversation. So if you're going to ask me what I think my influence is, then I cannot answer it. Maybe it's better to ask other people if they're affected by what I write and if they feel like I influence them.
Earlier you mentioned you have a following right now of how many?
About 250.
250,000? Mm-hmm. And in your previous account, how many?
480,000.
And then in your average impressions for every post is around 10,000, if I'm not mistaken. That's the number you said earlier.
In my new page, in my old page, about 5,000 to...
In your new page?
About 10,000.
10,000
in
per
my new
post.
page.
Don't you feel any responsibility to speak the truth and what's factual?
Yes, I speak my truth. I'm under oath.
I mean, what
yes,
I'm saying
I speak
is,
my truth.
Don't you think having such a number of following with that influence, let me call that influence, that a certain degree of responsibility comes with it?
Of course, there's a responsibility. That's why I use my training in journalism to make sure that nobody can ever call me out and say it's fake news. I can make mistakes, but they're not glaring mistakes. And they're still going to be, I'm still going to have the same opinion from that same
Mrs.
mistake.
Preset, you stand by saying that you are faithful to your journalistic training in the course of determining or choosing the content, the tenor, and the language of your post? Yes or no?
Sorry, can you please repeat that?
Do you stand by your statement saying that you make sure that you're faithful to your journalistic
Yes,
training
sir.
in
I make
terms
sure that
in terms
as
of,
far as
let me continue first. In terms of the content, the language, the demeanor with which you post, you make your postings.
as far as I can, as far as I'm knowledgeable, I post what I feel. Maybe at the moment, maybe when I'm very angry, I post some things that are more inflammatory than when I'm more calm. But basically, those are my feelings. So, so sir, there will be times that I will be more angry
And
towards
the
one
postings,
politician over
Ms.
another
Crisette,
time. I'm still going to be angry at them.
Let me ask a question. So you mean when you speak something inflammatory on you post something inflammatory on your Facebook account, you don't mind whether people will be influenced by those inflammatory statements or not?
Those are my opinions, and I believe I have very intelligent readers, so if they think that I am lying, they can call me out. If they agree with me because they've used their own eyes, then they can investigate for themselves. Those are my opinions. Those are what I feel. If I say I don't like this person, I stand by it.
So you don't really mind if people, as a journalist, don't you feel that there's a need for you to...
I do not use my Facebook page. I do not identify myself
But
there.
earlier you mentioned that you make sure that you apply your journalistic training.
Meaning, I make sure I don't lie. Meaning, I make sure that I do not, even if I am inflammatory, even if I'm angry, it's still not a lie. I'm just more angry in one post than I am in another post. My degree of feeling changes per post, but the content will not change. If I'm angry at one person, it can be because I'm angry at one person, and the next post I'm still angry at them, but not as much. But
So
the
that
reason that I'm
changes.
angry at them is the same.
Okay.
Before we proceed, may I remind the resource persons, when you answer, please address the chair first.
Sir,
And,
sorry. Okay, sir, Mr. Chair.
Let the interpolator finish the question before you answer. Just a reminder.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir.
In your training for journalism, no, you majored in journalism, right?
Communication arts
Yes.
and publishing, sir.
Are you aware of the psychological phenomenon called illusion of truth effect?
I'm not sure we discussed it, sir.
So
Mr. Chair.
it means that when a repeated information is repeated again and again, it's likely to be perceived as true regardless of the factual accuracy.
Okay, sir.
For the record, let me ask, have you ever unknowingly or knowingly repeated content that turned out to be false or misleading? Have you ever? In the course of your posting, have you ever repeated content?
Knowingly, no. Unknowingly, I am not sure.
Mr. Chair, I ask it because I would like to draw your attention to this post dated March 13 under her new account. Klc'S, may ask the Secretariat to flash it on the screen, where the resource person posted, and I'll read the first paragraph. May mga pulis at military daw na nagre-resign kasi hindi na daw nila kaya. Marami daw. They cannot be part of this government daw. Klc'S, Mrs. Klc'S, would you confirm that this account is yours?
Yes, sir. And Mr. Chairman, that's not fake news because there were TikTok.
wait.
And kindly, sir,
Mr. Chair.
finish the post, sir, to read. Finish the... Kasi nakakahiya. Nahiya ako, sir.
Ms. Crisette, as I've said, please let the representative finish the question first before you answer. Let us observe proper decorum.
So this is your Facebook account.
Yes, sir.
Did you post this?
Yes, sir. I post the
in this
entire
first page, first paragraph, you stand by your statement that you said na maraming, let me read it verbatim, na may mga pulis na military daw na magre-resign kasi hindi na daw nila kaya. Marami daw. They cannot be part of this government daw. Tama po ba?
Yes, sir. And then
Saan
kindly
mo
read.
nakuha yung impormasyon na to?
Sir, if you go on TikTok, there are policemen.
How many policemen?
Sir, I'm not counting, but there are many
But
policemen,
you
and
said
that's a
marami.
general impression,
But
sir.
you said marami. So,
Yes,
so
sir.
you just
Marami,
post
sir.
it on the basis of a single,
Yes, sir.
2 or 3 posts?
Yes, sir. I will not count all that, but there's a general impression, sir. And sir,
Have
if you
you
read all
ever
my content,
Let me ask the question and I'll give you the chance to answer. Have you ever made an effort to verify this post from official sources?
yes, sir, because there were already policemen, and I am sure our policemen can also say that there were policemen that are on TikTok that are voicing out their, if they have like feelings. So, if you could kindly, sir, read the rest. So, kasi nahihiya po ako kasi may mga police dito.
No. I just want to stand by your opinion. The next succeeding paragraphs are the opinion of the resource person. I just want to stick to the factual statements you made. And that's basically saying that maraming police at military daw ang magre-resign kasi hindi na daw nila kaya. Marami daw. They cannot be part of this government. And apparently, the resource person, Mr. Chair, has gotten this information from other social media posts. And on a critical matter such as this, Mr. Chair, she did not make any effort, or unless you're contesting it, any
I will
effort
contest it.
to verify it from official sources.
Mr. Chair, number one, I made sure to put the word thou because no policeman has ever come out to me. Well, before, but it was in my old when they would talk about their discontent.
Earlier you said you don't want to write a lie.
Yeah, and that's not a
Let me
lie,
ask you,
sir. That's
maybe
not a
ask
lie,
the
sir.
resource person, naniniwala ka ba sa katotohanan? As a journalist,
Of course.
ang pagsasabi ba ng hindi totoo, hindi pagsasabi ng katotohanan, tama, di ba?
Mr. Chair, those are the impressions, not
No,
only of
I'm
me.
asking you, because I want to test if we have the same idea of what truthful is.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Ang hindi
Mr.
pagsasabi
Chair.
ng totoo ay hindi pagsasabi ng katotohanan, di ba?
Yes,
Ang
Mr.
hindi
Chair, and I
pagsasabi ng
maintain.
totoo ay kasinungalingan. Tama.
Yes, sir, and I maintain I'm speaking the
Ang
truth.
pagsasabi ng half-truth ay pagsasabi din ng kasinungalingan.
I am maintaining that I am speaking the truth of the impressions made on social media.
Okay.
Thank you, sir,
I don't
Mr.
want to
Chair.
argue with her position, Mr. Chair, but I just want to bring the attention of the committee to a news article showing the official position of the PNP. Can we flash that on? Can we flash that on the screen?
Comsec, please flash the content.
Okay, this is a press release. I think this is a news article from, if I'm not mistaken, from the Philippine Star, saying basically, according to the spokesperson of the PNP, hindi daw totoo ang nasasabing mass resignation ng mga miyembro ng PNP. Tiyak po ang pagkakasabi na walang isang miyembro ng PNP ang nagbitiw mula sa kanilang posisyon pagkatapos ng pagka-aresto ni President Duterte. Pinabulaanan nga po niya ang ilang partikular na mga post at larawan na kumakalat sa social media tungkol dito. So have you read this article after your post?
Mr. Chair, no, I have not read that article. And Mr. Chair, this article exactly affirms what I said earlier, that the mass impression of laymen like us, civilians like us, that there were mass resignations. The fact that the PNP...
But Madam Chair, Mr. Chair, you just said, yet you do not share lies on your post,
sir,
diba?
Sir, I shared, ano tawag? Mr. Chair, that's what I said. Kaya ako nag-include ng daw, these were impressions. The fact, sir, that our PNP had to write a press release means kami na hindi kami, wala kaming statistics. These were the impressions that were coming to us.
So you're saying that
And,
this is something
sir,
that
can I
you
also
just...
finish?
Okay.
Why it's not fair here?
Okay, Mr. Chair, does it mean that you have simply written this post out of your personal impressions or the impressions of you believe are posted in other social media without even making sure whether there is enough basis or have made any effort to verify your statements?
Mr. Chair, if I am not an insider in the PNP and they had to release that information, it means that they are correcting the general impression of masses like us. The fact that they had to write it means that there's a general impression, and to our policeman here, I would like to
And when you make
address you
those,
that,
Mr. Chair, when you make those impressions, you don't have any regard whether, now you find yourself apologizing to the policeman
No,
here.
sir, the
So
reason
you
I am
didn't make any
apologizing
effort-
is because my post was
Mr.
not
Chair.
about... Mr. Chair, can I
Point of
just
order.
please give me time to explain? Because it's been talked,
Ms.
sir,
Crisette,
kindly...
in accordance with our rules, as I've said earlier, this will be the third time that I'm telling all the resource persons, let the interpellator finish the question first. And in fact, if I impose the rule strictly, the resource persons can only speak until I recognize you.
Thank
So,
you, sir.
kung pwede lang patapusin nyo yung tanong bago kayo sumakot para hindi tayo magkakagulo rito.
Babalikan ko yung tanong ko. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Ms. Crisette, sa dami ng followers ninyo, in putting out information or posting items such as what has been presented before this committee, are you saying categorically that you do not feel any responsibility for the weight and for the consequences of your posts?
Can I answer now?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Chair, I am saying that I am merely writing about what I see as the pulse of the masses, which is that they were afraid that there were policemen. That's why also I am very careful that I said daw. And to our honorable policeman, I'm not apologizing because I wrote that. I'm apologizing because you don't know the context of what I wrote. And what I wrote was, please don't resign. Because if you really want to make a difference in our country, you can best do it from the inside. It was not a condemnation of people who were resigning, but a reminder that if you're given a rare opportunity to change something that you do not like, do
I
it
think, Mr.
from the
Chair,
inside.
I think, Mr. Chair, the resource person is not answering the question because we want to focus solely on those first two statements, which I think carries a significant weight. Yung pagsasabi na maraming pulis ang nag-resign at nagbibitiw, whether it's daw or what, we're presenting a scenario that could be harmful even to national security. And in fact, if you ask me, personally, there should have been legal consequences for this. I don't know. We have a representative from PNP, so we can hear from it. Mr. Chair, do we have somebody from...
Yes, General Torre, can you please answer?
Mr. Chair, General Torre, have there been any incident of massive resignations following the arrest of the former president?
If the qualification for the word massive, sir, is more than the normal, then there's none, sir. But there are regular resignations, but it's not connected to this issue, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. What I'm trying to point out, Mr. Chair, is kung hindi ang isang social media influencer or somebody who uses social media doesn't feel responsible for one's postings, no? At even doesn't consider that whatever effect it may have on the minds of many others na nagbabasa o nakakabasa dun sa mga post niya, I think, Mr. Chair, we're treading in dangerous ground here. Kasi clearly, an audience of 10,000 per post is no small following. And I think, whatever the circumstances are, it's incumbent upon those who use social media to take responsibility for their postings, especially when such matter actually affect national security and affect our society as a whole. And I think in this case, this is something that we should carefully consider, especially that the resource person, Mr. Chair, in many of her posts, have actually made accusations, criticism, or exposés about public officials, about public offices and agencies. And I think we have to draw the line whether the canons of journalism, especially that Mrs. Klc'S Chu is a journalist by profession, that there should be a clear demarcation between personal posts, especially what should determine, I think, Mr. Chair, should be the content of the post rather than who the one writing is. And especially in the case of Mrs. Klc'S Chu, her being a journalist, make sure that a serious journalist, as she mentioned, will not publish rumors, because basically the way she explains it is that she has made this post on the basis of social media rumors. The ones who publish social rumors are actually those who are showbiz reporters. So the article on the resignation, and you can see on the following post, there has been no effort, Mr. Chair, to actually verify. May I ask the resource person again, Mr. Chair, after learning, have there been any efforts on your part to rectify or to correct the impression that you said you've articulated in your social media post?
Mr. Chair, can I answer this, sir? He's belaboring the point that this is news. It was not news. The reason I said daw was that it was not news, but for me, that if this was true, and you could read it in my post, if totoo ito, please don't do it. I did not say, you can make a difference, you can make a distinction if you were trained in journalism between establishing something and saying, if this is true, please don't do it, and announcement, many policemen have resigned. That's the difference. I wanted to predicate what I wrote with something that was daw, because it was a reminder to our policemen that please do not leave us, please think it through, that you can do more inside. So, sir, for me, it was more an opinion piece based on the general impression of when I wrote it, sir.
So now it's an opinion piece, Mr. Chair. That's
All my
how she's
articles
referring
on
it.
Facebook are opinion pieces po,
So,
sir,
Mr. Chair, this would be my last point. Would you agree, Mrs. Klc'S, if you would, I would be so direct, that what you've written on your post is simply somebody's ranting, sensationalizing a rumor heard on social media without no effort to verify, with simply the effort to create some questions or to insinuate a situation that would actually affect national security. Because that's how you explained it. You simply sensationalized a rumor you heard online without considering, without even taking the effort to verify and without considering the possible effects on national security on a matter that is very sensitive given the political situation of the country right now. And you feel no responsibility whatsoever to the 10,000 impressions or readers that may have, who may be influenced by the opinions that you raised. You really don't care about what people will do or say or take after reading your post. Is that correct, Mrs. Klc'S?
Mr. Chair, I will reply now. Okay, sir, I do not feel any responsibility because my conscience is clear. It was not phrased as news. It was something.
I agree na, Mr. Chair.
Sir.
I agree na. I'm not saying, I agree with what you're saying. It's not news. But you simply sensationalized on social media a rumor that you've heard or read or whatsoever without any effort to verify it as a responsible social media user, and without consideration that given your following, the people who read and actually listen to you on a matter that's sensitive to national security.
Mr.
Wala
Chair,
kang
may I...
pakialam kung anong gagawin at iisipin ng mga tao, basta sinulat ni Klc'S, naniniwala yung mga tao, bahala maniwala sila, hindi. Wala kang pakialam doon.
Mr. Chair, may I already reply? The fact that the PNP felt there was a need to issue a clarification meant it was not me who thought about it, that it was the general sentiment of a lot of people because there were a lot of posts going around. I never claimed to have first-hand information about this. That's why it was very important to me to say
But neither
marami daw-
did you, Mr. Chair, neither did you say also in the same post that I do not have a first-hand information about this. Diba?
Yes,
Wala ka
Mr.
naman
Chair,
sinabi.
that was why I said daw, and it was not phrased as a news.
3 words
but
does not, I mean,
but for me as a reminder to our policemen, sir.
Okay, granted arguendo that that's the case, no? Now that the PNP has actually explained, and you even hear General Torres say, Mr. Chair, Mrs. Klc'S, that it's not true. Are you willing to apologize for anybody who may have thought wrongfully? You should say, you claim is not your attention. Are you willing to apologize to those who may have thought or have taken your statement as truthful and factual?
Sir, I will not apologize only because if you read the entire post, it was to support the PNP and it was a good post. It was not news. So, sir, I'm sorry if you think if
Mr. Chair, I'm saying, aminado naman ho ng resource person na nakuha lang niya yung chismis sa social media. 'Di ba? Tapos ginawa niya ng buong kwento na yung mga police, this and that. That I would leave it to you because that's your opinion, calling on the police for whatever. But I'm asking you now the police itself, the police organization, officially, and General Torre has now confirmed that, saying that there has been no mass resignation. Are you willing to rectify? Because many would have read your statement and read it without the doubts. Maybe some people actually, we have more than 30 clippings of your post, and people in their comments actually take in your statements as truthful. Now you're presented with an example that your statement has been debunked officially by the police and General Torre, who's here with us. Are you still not willing to correct yourself officially?
Sir, Mr. Chairman, in my training for journalism, the DAO is
you
very
know,
important, sir.
Mr. Chair,
And
the
also,
problem
sir,
with our resource
to our
person
police,
is
sir,
she claims to be a journalist whenever it's convenient, and a private person whenever it's convenient. And if you go back to my manifestation earlier, Mr. Chair, that's actually the problem that we have today. You have people who are able to amplify issues without being bound by the canons of journalism. Diba? Subukan kaya ng komentaristang sabihin yan on air, on radio, kung hindi yan matanggal yung license niya sa KBP. And our social media influence, well, not everyone, but those who are able to peddle on sensationalized news or rumors on the basis of mere rumors, no? And I'm not bound by any accountability. Don't even, as the resource person has said, Mr. Chair, doesn't even feel responsible for the consequences of her statements. And I think we're treading on dangerous grounds here. Because, as I said earlier, something that you repeat over and over again, for someone who has a following of 10,000 per impressions per post, 100,000, following 500,000 in her previous account and 200,000 in this current account, that's something that should be considered. Where do we draw the line between one statement and the accountability that he or she must bear for her readers? If this was a matter, Mr. Chair, and I'd like to wind up now, that affects my person, I wouldn't really mind, because I think being criticized openly comes with the job that we have. It comes with being elected to public office. But when it is a matter of national security, when it is a time when the country should be protected rather than weakened by all this misinformation and disinformation, I think we need to draw the line. I think that's all for my question, Mr. Chair. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chair, respectfully po, this is what I would like to say is why a lot of people are afraid to speak out and are afraid of this
Mr.
hearing.
Chair,
Kasi yun po yung sinasabing prior restraint na parang natatakot kami to speak out. Because, sir, people are watching us. The Filipinos are watching us. And
Mr.
I know
Chair,
they're not stupid, sir. They know what
Mr. Chair,
they mean by
wait.
thou. What we say by
Ms.
thou.
Crescent, why? Do you feel threatened now?
Yes, sir.
Are we-
Yes, sir, because, sir, may I, yes, sir,
I think
feel
there are
threatened
many
now,
people
sir.
here. I don't think we are harassing you.
Sir, not you, sir. Mr. Acidre, sir. Because, sir, may I just share that we have a history because we are both from Leyte.
Anyway,
And- yes, sir, and I have been
Mr.
a
Chair, I
vocal
already,
critic, sir.
Mr. Chair, if
Ms.
I may.
Crescent, I think Representative Acidre has already finished his
Thank you, sir.
interpolation.
Sorry, sir.
Maybe,
Mr. Chair, I already said in my opening statement that whatever she posted many things about me, but I would not discuss that. But I think criticisms like that, however unfair it is, comes with the territory of public service. But for someone to comment on national security, for an issue that affects our country, I think that's when you draw the line. I don't think this is about silencing anyone. I don't think this is harassment, because why would you feel harassed when you believe that you've been saying the truth? Because no amount of harassment can ever drown the truth. But if you've been using such power and influence to sensationalize, to influence, to manipulate adversely, without taking even responsibility for what you said or wrote, I think that's not silencing someone. That's just putting it right where personal responsibility should be upheld. And that's it, Mr. Chair.
before we continue, the chair would like to acknowledge the presence of our senior deputy speaker, Aurelio Dong Gonzalez Jr. And online, we have Honorable Marie Escudero, Honorable Mitch Cayon, and Honorable Dan Fernandez. The chair now recognizes Representative Benny Abante for his interpellation.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to follow up the questions of Congressman Acidre to Ms. Crisette Laureta Chu. Ms. Crisette, will you be able to answer my question?
Congressman, Mr. Chair, yes, sir.
Okay. I don't know if Ms. Cassette actually wrote something about me. No, I don't remember doing that. I don't remember her saying things against me. Have you ever made a statement against me, Ms. Cassette, at one time?
I'm not sure, sir, but I'm sure I've been hurt by some of the things that the Quadcom during the time of
Mr. Chair, so you have been hurt.
Yes,
Why are
sir.
you hurt?
because sir,
Are you the ones being investigated? Why are you hurt?
no, sir, because I'm a supporter, and I just want to be honest,
No.
sir.
It's not, Mr. Chair, what I'm saying is this. You are not being investigated. I'd like to ask a question. Why are you hurt?
Sir, Mr. Chair, I will just answer honestly. For example, if you are a supporter of a certain politician, as I'm sure your supporters in your district in Manila know, if somebody you love or support is attacked or investigated, it hurts you. But, sir, I'm just being honest because I don't remember that I said anything about you. I'm just saying that I'm sure that maybe there were. I'm not sure, sir. I'm sorry. I don't think I've said anything bad
Mr.
about
Chair,
you.
I will not belabor anymore on what she said about me, no? But I just would like to reiterate what Congressman Jude has been saying all along. You said, you're a journalist, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm not a journalist.
Yes, sir.
And you said a while ago that you write what you feel. Am I right?
On my Facebook, sir, not on my job.
Yeah, you said you write what you feel. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, I do not need to be a journalist to write what I feel. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So why do you always say you're a journalist?
Because they asked me, sir, what I do.
You were not asked about being a journalist. You said it, that you are a journalist. Now,
Sir,
being a journalist, Mr. Chair, binanggit mo yung daw. Is that what you feel? Or are you trying to say now that that is what the masses feel?
Mr. Chairman, that's what the impression I got from the social media platforms.
The
like TikTok.
impression
Yes, sir.
that you got.
We call it social media impression, sir.
Well, I'm quite ignorant with the social media impression, Mr. Chair. But what I'm saying is this. You said that you write what you feel. Now, when you said daw, na maraming nag-resign na mga pulis, daw, all right? You were not writing what you feel. You were actually writing what you think the masses feel. Am I right?
Sir, in the first part of the sentence, yes, sir. And then the second part of the post where I had my own opinion, it was what I felt, sir.
So you believe that what you were writing, what you believe to be what the masses feel.
Yes, sir, that's right, sir.
All right. So you're not writing what you feel, actually.
Yes, sir, as well, sir.
Therefore, you were wrong in your first statement.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Good. Very good. I'm so glad that you admitted that. All right. Now here it's...
In light of the new information, sir, in light of the
I do
press
not need
release,
you to
sir.
explain. I don't need you to explain, Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir, thank you.
You admitted you're wrong, and that's it.
Yes, sir, thank
All
you.
right? Now, I'd like to ask General Torre here. You answered a moment ago, General Torre, that when you speak of a mass resignation, there's none. There's none. Will you please explain further so that Ms. Cassette Chu will be able to understand that is not what the masses feel?
Well, there's really nobody on record who filed their resignation, sir, just because of the Duterte arrest, sir. There's none on record right now, sir.
Do you believe that, Ms. Cassette? Do you believe the statement of General Torre?
Yes, sir, because he has the insider information. I believe him, sir.
Would you now please write something about that? Even if you do not apologize, would you now please write
Yes,
something
sir,
about
if you
that,
wish,
that you
sir.
believe, now, just a moment, that you believe that would the statement of General Torre. Would you please write that?
Yes, sir. I will write, sir, that according to the PNP, there were no mass resignations due to the Duterte arrest.
Thank you.
sir.
And therefore, you were wrong. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much for admitting that again. All right. Now, I would like to understand what you wrote also here, December 28, 2024. I have the copy here, and the picture. I was actually asking my colleagues here, who is this lady in that picture, and I was told that this is the daughter of the former president. Now, you said, yung anak ka ng presidente, kapatid ka ng VP, mayor at congressman, pero kailangan mo magbenta ng deodorant sa TikTok with matching actual application of deodorant sa kilikili mo because sayang ang pera para may pambili ka ng luho. Samantalang ang anak ng mga congressman lang na kung sino-sino nag-aaral abroad sa Europe at Switzerland at walang alam sa buhay, akala hardworking lang ang kanilang mga magulang. I would like to understand this. I would like to understand what you feel about this. Now you tell us right here in this committee, anong ibig sabihin nitong impression na ito?
Mr. Chair, respectfully, I would like to say that there are many congressmen whose children live lives that are far beyond what their son and other parents have.
Well, Mr. Chair, to inform Ms. Crisette that I have 3 children, and they never went to Switzerland to study.
Yes, sir. Not you.
Okay.
It's not you, sir.
All right, not me.
Yes,
so
sir, not
therefore,
you.
who are you referring to?
Sir, I would not...
You give us names. Who are you referring to? You made a statement that there are a lot of congressmen. Therefore, you tell us now, who are you referring to?
Sir, Mr. Chair, respectfully, my counsel does not want me to mention.
Your counsel is wrong. You made a statement, samantalang ang anak ng mga congressman. You made that statement, maraming congressman. So I'm asking you right now, sino-sinong congressman yon na may mga anak na nag-aral sa Europe at Switzerland na walang alam sa buhay? Yun ang ibig sabihin nun. Yun ang impression mo, di ba? Alright, you tell us now. Because that is not only an impression, Mr. Chair. She is telling us something that she believed to be true.
Your Honor, as counsel for resource person
Mr. Chair,
issue,
does the council have the right to speak in this committee?
The council should wait for the chair to recognize you. Representative Abante first.
Right, I'd like to find out, because look, nung sinabi mo, ang mga anak ng congressman lang na kung sino-sino nag-aaral abroad sa Europe at Switzerland at walang alam sa buhay. That is not only writing what you feel. It is writing what you know. That's your conclusion. Therefore, I would like to find out, sino ang tinutukoy mong congressman dito? Ipangalan mo na. Oh, palagay ko walang congressman. Matatakot dito. Meron bang mali, Mr. Chair? Is there anything wrong with any congressman who can afford to let his children study in Europe and Switzerland? Is there anything wrong with that, Mr. Chair? Let me ask you, yes or no, is there anything wrong with that?
Ms. Crisette, kindly answer the question.
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Chair, may I be allowed
Would you allow the council?
I will allow counsel to speak first after she answers. After she answers.
Okay,
Your
Ms. Cosette,
Honor,
please answer the question.
Your Honor, to facilitate the expectation of the Honorable Congressman, may I be allowed to give 1 minute just to confer with my client, Your Honor?
Attorney Bello, tapusin muna natin yung question to Crisette. Pag na answer niya na satisfactorily, then we can proceed with your manifestation. Ms. Crisette, please answer the question.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor,
Mr. Chair.
my request is
Mr.
that
Sec
Your
Bello, wait until you are recognized. Crisette
Wait.
Chu is being recognized as of now. We have rules to follow in this. Ms. Crisette, kindly answer the question.
Sir,
Your Honor,
Chairman,
just reconsideration,
Chairman.
Your Honor. My request, Your Honor, is that before my client will answer, may I be allowed 1 minute to confer
Mr.
with
Chair.
Your Honor, to
Mr. Chair.
clarify
Hold on.
with the
Are you
permission of the
referring to
Honorable
a
Congressman.
legal advice? Would you like to confer with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you
just-
confer with your client first.
Yes, Your Honor.
We have a 1 minute suspension.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
thank you, sir.
Hearing resumed. Representative Abante, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Again, I'd like to reiterate the question.
Your Honor, thank you very much.
I just asked Ms. Chu if there's anything wrong with any congressman who can afford to send his children to Europe and Switzerland. Is there anything wrong with that, Mr. Chair? The only answer is yes or no. Yun lang po.
Your Honor, may I be allowed to approach the Honorable Congressman after my consultation with my client?
Hearing,
Yes, sir.
hearing suspended.
Yes.
Please approach.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Chair, I would like to give way to what her attorney said, no? And again, I would like to ask Ms. Chu to respond according to how her attorney advised her.
Ms. Crisette is recognized.
Mr. Chair. Sorry, sir, I did not hear your question. My counsel was speaking with me. Could you kindly...
Representative Abante, do you have any question?
Yeah, I asked you a question a moment ago, and your lawyer conferred with you. So I agreed with what your lawyer said, and your lawyer said that it's just a matter of oversight, and you're willing to apologize. So please do it now.
Yes, sir, my lawyer and I talked, and my case is a matter of oversight. And I apologize, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Chair, I'd like to manifest as the third time that Ms. Crisette apologized to this committee. Let me continue on. On December 28, 2024, Ms. Crisette,
Yes, sir.
you said, in Tagalog, ang tanga ng gobyernong to, not just as leaders, but as human beings. Is that what you feel?
Sir, I apologize. I do not know what happened on December 28 to make me angry. But if I wrote it that time
You're apologizing.
for not... No, sir, I mean, I do not know what situation on December 28.
Let me
and what the
continue on.
context.
Let me
Yes, sir.
continue on. Says, ipapamudmod sa mga naka-braces na nagbabakasyon abroad ang AKAP money tapos utang ng 629 billion. yung budget ng ayuda this year na pinibigay kung kani-kanino na nag-mall tour, pa yung mga tanga na 500 billion uutangin ulit kasi nag-deficit daw. Mr. Chair, Ms. Crisette, ang galing mo naman. Tanga ang gobyerno, ikaw matalino. Ano? Am I right? Tanga ang gobyerno, hindi mo matalino ka.
Mr. Chair, when one is angry, one says bad things. And in the situation that, sir, Mr. Chair, in the situation when I found out
So you're Mr. Chair, you still have words, no, Mr. Chair. Ibig sabihin, that you are actually telling your anger to your followers, your anger. Saan mo nakuha yung anger na yan? I mean, do you have the facts? Do you have the information? Do you have the documents? Mr. Chair?
Sir, nasa news po na uutang tayo this year and last year. Sir, sir, please, Mr. Chair, kaya ako nagalit kasi may nakita akong nakaakap na nakabrace tapos sir, I am not laying it on the congressman. I am laying it on the person who gave that person 5,000 despite na, sir, kasi taxpayer kami. Masakit, sir, na makikita namin na...
Ms. Crisette, may I ask you the question, how much taxes did you pay? And I will tell you how much tax I paid.
Sir,
Ang katwiran mo, you're a taxpayer. Bakit? Anong palagay mo sa akin, di taxpayer?
sir, hindi naman po kayo yung sinasabihan ko ng tanga, Mr. Chair.
Kaya
It was
tinatanong
the
kita, Mr.
process
Chair.
of distributing the
Mr. Chair,
AKAP.
tinatanong kita kung saan mo kinuha ito. Sa news mo lang pala kinuha eh. Wala kang documents. You cannot even tell me if you're telling facts or truth.
Sir, nasa news po kasi
sasabihin
na
mo, tanga ang
mag-uutang
gobyerno.
tayo.
My goodness, ibig mo sabihin, you're going to base your statement, tanga ang gobyerno, sa news na nabasa mo, Mr. Chair, and then you're telling me you're a journalist, and you're telling me that you're speaking the truth?
Mr. Chair, respectfully po, those are my feelings. Kasi binamigay natin yung pera sa
Therefore, if
AKAP.
that's your feeling, Mr. Chair, I demand that you apologize to this committee.
I will apologize, Mr. Chair, for my bad words or for... I apologize for my bad words, sir. I
Mr.
apologize for saying the word tanga in my post.
Maraming salamat, Mr. Chair, for admitting that, no? Siguro naman, makikita mo naman ang gobyerno, sasabihin mo mga tanga kami, siguro, pinapalagay mo, alam mo sa akin, Mr. Chair, ang pinapalagay ni Ms. Crisette, yung audience niya, mga tanga eh. Yun ang pinapalagay mo. Hindi ang gobyerno. Yung audience mo, mga tanga, kaya papaniwalaan nila ang sinasabi mo sapagkat yung audience mo mismo ang hindi nakakaintindi. That is fake news, Mr. Chair, and that is what we're investigating right now. You see? I hope that you understand that, Mr. Chair. Ms. Crisette, do you understand what I'm trying to say? Ikaw, nandito sa akin yung mga sinabi mo tungkol sa amin, ha? Hindi ako sumagot dyan, eh. Hindi ko na kinakailangan pang i-belabor yan. So, anyway, Mr. Chair, anyway, nakita ko naman na Ms. Crisette is now apologetic to what she said. I'd like to continue on. I would like to ask TikTok here.